Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. I'm farming some more T5 Abyss and I'm trying to earn some dank to eventually get those nice Vorton specialization skill books. And I just spawned in here and I just noticed the background there looks a bit different than usual. I've never actually noticed this kind of teal looking background. It usually looks a bit more like purplish background, the electrical sides, but here we have a surprise with a bit of a teal background. I think it looks really cool. And I just noticed here actually that there's a ton, oh actually no, recall my drones. I'm a bit scared right there because they're not targeting anything. That means they're probably targeting my drones. Sometimes it actually happens in the Abyss when you like release your drones too early, like just straight away when you spawned in. Then actually they all just suddenly target your drones, and I have lost lots of drones to that actually. It's happened that they just instantly just blap. They all cruisers focus them at the same time, and since you got your drones approaching you, then you're gonna have big problems because since the drones are approaching the cruisers, the transversals are gonna be very low, obviously. No, do not go there. Why are you going there? No. Okay, good. They'll have a very bad transversal when they're going towards the cruisers, and they're going to hit them straight away, and I have lost quite a few drones like that. They just blap them off the field. Even worse actually was once with those Santra cruisers. You know the Santra cruisers, those devoted knights? Oh, those guys, they've got crazy tracking. I think they even got tracking the same level as like the rogue drone battle cruisers. The rogue drone battle cruisers are crazy good tracking. You can have your light drones orbiting at 500 at like 4k a second. They'll still hit them. They don't care. They'll just still hit them. They've got like some hacks. I think the rogue drone battle cruisers are using some hacks of some sort. But the thing is that there was 5 now. There's only 4 Vedmax. I'm just being a little bit careful here. I'm trying to kite these Vedmax because even though my super duper, super tanky, super blinged Gila is very expensive, very powerful, I still never underestimate the Vedmax. I've played EVE Online a lot in the Abyss. I still don't underestimate the Vedmax because in my EVE career, many times I've actually died here in the Abyss, like in my testing of different various fits. It almost always has been due to the Vedmax. The Vedmax just have so high DPS for how much hit points they have. They just have so much DPS packed into them. So it really is very favorable to take them out as soon as possible, unless there's like some essential E-war that you really need to get off the grid. Like I've mentioned this before, is that if there's maybe like one anchoring, like a scrambling guy, like a scrambling Damavik, then I'll often go for that first, even if the rest are Vedmaxed, because the thing is, if that one scrambling goes away, then I'm able to kite them like I'm doing now. If I'm tackled down with a scrambling, then I won't be able to kite them. The Vedmax are just a little bit slower than me, so it's very easy to kite them. They've got like the optimum range of like 25 kilometers, so it's very easy right there. But since there was 5 here, the DPS they will have when they spool up will be crazy. They'll have absolutely crazy DPS. So I really do not want to take any chances, just taking these guys out straight away. And then we're going to go for the frigates obviously afterwards. Go for this extraction cache right here. You can see the Triglavian planet in the background. That looks really cool. Usually I don't usually have a good view on the Triglavian planet, but it's got a very good view here. And I think the Triglavian planet, it feels like there's only like one of these Triglavian planets. They all look very similar. I feel like there's only a very few like original Triglavian planets. They all look pretty similar actually. So we've done this wave very quickly actually. Very quickly indeed, and I really hope to get those good loot drops. Often it happens that I do a bunch of T5 farming off camera, and I notice that often the T5 farming that I film just happens to be so crap. Like I get when I'm not filming, I just get these like 100+ million T5 runs, and it rarely happens that I could ever catch them on camera. It's just luck. It feels like, you know, when you actually want to show someone something good, it doesn't happen. It's all in those RNG numbers right there. All in those servers in London or even Iceland. I can't remember where the CCP server is. I think it's in London. All those random number generators occurring in that one box right there. Okay, now actually I'm not going to use these Tech 2 drones right here. Do not use the Tech 2 drones, please. I'm going to go for these extraction caches and use the tanky drones, the Imperial navies, because they have pretty good tank. Pretty good tank compared to those Tech 2s. Those Tech 2s will get sniped very quickly, and they do obviously a bit less DPS, but in my experience I lose the Tech 2s quite quickly if I'm not razor fast or extremely fast with recalling them. And even then they often take a ton of damage. So in the long run, I usually find it just better to go with the faction ones. The faction ones are very chill faction ones. They take a bit of steroids. Those guys, they have a bit of extra meat to them. Unlike the Tech 2 ones, it's the kind of, you can think of it like the Tech 2 ones. They're like the people who strength athletes, and then you got the the faction drones. They think they are like bodybuilders. They're really big, but they're not actually got a lot of strength to them. So that's I feel like that's what they are. And look here, I have the one of those battlecruiser yellow boxing, so I'm going to recall them now. Let's lock up this extraction node and go for this. Return the drones, please. Return the drone. Yes. So we got actually 40 mil from that one room. Oh, even 50 mil actually. What is this? 45 mil. That's actually really good. So if I keep up at this rate, we're talking over 135 mil. That is something I think is really good. It is a damn good room. So I hope we'll keep up at this rate. It'd be really nice. We've got some tachyon clouds over here, and I worried that one day I'm just going to go in these tachyon clouds, not pay attention, and I'm just going to be thrown out into the abyssal depths. I really worry for that day. I mean, I have many times gone into a tachyon cloud, but I've always had enough time to be able to turn around. Unfortunately, in the frigate abyss, it's a little bit of a different story because they're just so fast when it comes to the tachyon clouds. So you'll often, or at least with me, it's a lot harder to turn around. Firstly, because of how fast they go, the frigates. Second off, it's just that the frigates are obviously not as tanky as the cruisers. So because of that, they die often pretty quickly. Even the Gila can actually come quite far out into the abyssal depths before it actually gets killed by the unstable abyssal depths. I mean, it's just so tanky. Obviously, the little frigates I run in the abyss, like the Retribution, even Nurgle, they rely a lot on their kiting abilities to be able to survive out here. So it's not their face tanking, and because of that, the abyssal depths shows no mercy on those little frigates right there. Many little frigates have died, unfortunately. Seems like I forgot to bring this loot cache in right here. It's a bit annoying. That has actually happened to me before. It rarely happens, but sometimes it does actually happen that like the server lags a bit. So I clicked it, and I did for a second. It actually did go into my inventory, and then it just bounces back. So a good tip right there is to always just double check that the loot has been emptied. You see here, only to buy adaptive right here. We're going to go for this bi-adaptive here, but it has happened that at once happened, like I told you, that it just bounced back. I'd gone over 100 kilometers away, and I was like, oh no, I have to go 100 kilometers just to grab that one little loot cache. That's very annoying. And sometimes it can be to the point where it's just not even worth your time. You just go and run more sites because you'll earn more ISK that way rather than having to just grab it. But it's pretty good to go for those nodes. It's nice having to fully utilize the filament, you could say. Obviously, when you're doing frigate abyss, you're doing 3 times the loot from the bi-adaptive, not from the extraction node. So then it's like always really good to go for the the bi-adaptive, and you can not really worth your time to go for the extraction nodes unless you've got extra time to spare. Then it would probably be good to go for those, but you just really get all your loot from the bi-adaptives and frigate abyss, so you just go for that really. Some lucid upholders, very simple sleeper cruisers, very easy. And I wish that in the Abyss there were more variations. It's really nice how we have currently the destroyers and the frigate Abyss. I really like that. I really appreciate the CCP even bothered to do that to begin with. I mean, they may as well just kept cruisers. But it would be really nice if there was other types of Abyss. I've mentioned Battleship Abyss before, but I also think there are other variations, like for example, maybe a 5-room Abyss. That could be cool. Or maybe something else. What I'm trying to say is just mix it up a bit. Different types of rooms. We've got now like a 3-room Abyss. Okay, that is what we've got. Nothing more to it than that, really. Maybe it would be cool if there was like an Abyss site that each wave it became harder and harder and harder. That would also be pretty cool right there. Or maybe an Abyss site where the timer was a bit lower. So that would also be quite cool. You really had to do them really fast. Just like what I'm saying is that I wish there was like a bit of variation to it. Also, I think it would be really cool if there was a way to do co-op cruises somehow. I know that would be so OP, but if there was maybe like a harder site made for cruisers or something like that, The destroyers are really good, and the frigates are really good. The only like thing I have a bit with the destroyers and frigate abyss is that it's not the simplest thing to do, just because of how like frigates and destroyers, they're not at all particularly tanky. So it's always, I always die a lot. I die a lot in the frigates and the destroyers. So it would be nice to not die a lot and be able to do it with a friend as well. I think that would be kind of cool. Or maybe even some other kind of like cooperative activity. Like, now this sounds maybe really cringe to some people, but maybe you could have like a co-op where you got like 2 players. One goes through a site and they have to like maybe hack some data sites, and then like one goes through one gate and then the other goes through another gate, and some guy has to like hack these data sites to allow the other guy to be able to go to the next room. Or maybe when they hack a site, then they get like a bonus to maybe like some of the ships self-destruct or something like that. Like just I've heard like more like cool co-op kind of activities. That'd be really cool. Something I think that can really be expanded upon when it comes to the Abyss, because it's just like, it's such a, I feel like this activity is like very easy to, it's very got a very good base. Like you can really build on it a lot. Let's go for the buy adaptive right here. We're doing pretty well. We've got, what's this, 83 million. Well, if we get some jackpot loot right here, that'll be amazing. A long time since I got those jackpot loot, like a specialization or unstable large cap battery mutaplasmid. Those things go for a lot. I think it's 100 mil last time I checked. I mean, the prices are going up and down, so it may as well be very different. Ooh, 107 mil. That's really nice. Let's see how much it actually is right here. Go here. 103 mil. Oof, that's so good. Let's go and shoot our missiles right here. Double click on the origin. Goodness. Go there when I'm finished. I really just, some kind of co-op activity that will be nice, because when I come to my friend, like often when I try to do this kind of co-op activity with my friends, especially like newer players, the thing is, the frigate abyss is not at all as how do you say, or it's a lot more punishing than the cruiser abyss, because the frigates obviously they're like very flimsy, very how do you say, like squishy. They can get killed very quickly. It's also very fast, so if you pilot a bit wrong, you'll maybe go out in the abyssal depths. Like, you don't know how many times I've tried to do abyssal frigate runs with like some friends of mine, and then they're like completely new to it, and they just run out of the abyssal depths. Even though I warned them, it still is not maybe so intuitive, because there's no clear boundary box, so they just go out and die that way, and it would be less likely that would happen in a slower cruiser. So I just wish that would be a thing. But all in all, that's just a bit of rambling from me. But all in all, I'm very happy with our little abyss haul right here. 103 million. We did this in like 15 minutes, so I'm pretty happy with this. Hope you guys enjoyed this video right here, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.